Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and this is the final video in my top 100 mystery books of all time series. This is the 5th one in this series. I've been doing 20 books from the list in each video, and in this video we will go from 20 to 1. And so we will discover what is the top mystery novel of all time. Now, have you been thinking about it? What do you think is going to show up in the top 10 list of the top mystery novels of all time? This book is according to the Mystery Writers of America. And this has been very entertaining to do this series. So what I've been doing is I have been going through the list and marking if I have read it, if I want to read it and I own it, if I want to read it and I don't own it, or if I am not interested. And so far, not interested category is the largest, which is a little bit embarrassing for me. Let's see how we do in the last 20 books on the list. Coming in at number 20 on the list is The Day of the Jackal by Frederick. The Day of the Jackal by Frederick Forsyth from 1971. We own this book, but I have not yet read it. Number 19 on the list, Witness for the Prosecution by Agatha Christie from 1948. Interestingly enough, this is actually a play, and then she did write a version of it as a short story, but it's appearing on this list anyway because it is brilliant. It is really very good, and I have definitely read it. 18 on the list is Gaudy Night by Dorothy L. Sayers from 1935. She has done very well on this list. I think at least 4 of her books are on here. And rightly so. Dorothy L. Sayers is a fantastic Golden Age writer. And Gaudy Night, I have definitely read. '17 on the list is A Coffin for Dimitrios by Ambler from 1939. This one is, again, I believe an espionage thriller, and I don't own that one. We do own some from Ambler, but I would read it. Then, number 16 on the list, The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris from 1988. I have definitely read this. I have definitely seen the movie, and I feel like I need to reread the book because I've seen the movie so many times that the movie is more prevalent in my mind than the book. But The Silence of the Lambs, that is a definite read. 15 on the list, number 15 of the top mystery books of all time, is The Godfather by Puzo from 1969. We own it, but I have not read it, and I really should. If it's 15 on the list, I should read it, even though I'm not a huge fan of mafia stories. 14 on the list, The Postman Always Rings Twice by James M. Cain from 1934. That is another of the hard-boiled, and even though it is 14 on the list, I'm not actually all that interested. 13 is The Long Goodbye by Raymond Chandler from 1954. Again, not interested. 12. The 12th top mystery novel of all time is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie from 1926. This is my favorite Agatha Christie, and I have read it multiple times. And if I was making this list, it would probably appear higher up. But 12 isn't bad out of 100. Number 11 is Anatomy of a Murder by Robert Traver from 1958. This is a courtroom drama that I have owned for a while, but I have not yet read. All right, here we go. The top 10 list. These are the top 10 mystery novels of all time up to 1995. Number 10, And Then There Were None, Agatha Christie, 1939. This book definitely deserves to be in the top 10. It is amazing. It is such a good mystery novel. It is a fantastic isolated closed circle mystery. Agatha Christie really is the master of plot. And Then There Were None is a supreme example of that. Number 9 on the list, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier from 1938. And yes, I have read it. Number 8 on the list, The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler, 1939. And again, even though it's top 10, I'm just not interested because there are more than one hard-boiled on the top 10 list, and I feel like if I read one of those, then that's going to be enough. That's going to be enough for me. Number 7, The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins from 1868. This has been called the first detective novel ever written. It is definitely excellent. He uses multiple narrators. A jewel goes missing. I have read it multiple times. It definitely deserves to be on the top 10 list. I love it. The Spy Who Came In From the Cold by John le Carre from 1963. This is again a famous book that I've heard a lot about, but I have not read it, and we do not own it. We own a number of his books, but not that one, so I'm putting that one under not owned TBR. 5. Top 5. This is 5 on the top 100 mystery books of all time. Presumed Innocent by Scott Turow from 1987. And this one is, again, I've owned it for a little while, but I have not yet read it. Number 4. We are getting down to it now. The Daughter of Time by Josephine Tey from 1951. This book is fantastic and definitely deserves to be on the top 10 mystery books of all time. Her series detective, and I have forgotten his name. Inspector Grant is in the hospital. And while he is recovering in the hospital, he attempts to solve the mystery of the princes in the tower. And it is fantastic, and I have definitely read it. Number 3, Tales of Mystery and Imagination by Edgar Allan Poe from 1845. I own this book, but I could not find it. And I have definitely read it. I have read quite a number of his short stories. The Murders in the Rue Morgue, for example, The Telltale Heart. And Edgar Allan Poe is a master of the mystery genre. So that is definitely, I have read it. Number 2 on the list is The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett from 1930. I have a copy of it in this great bind-up called 10 Great Mysteries, edited by Howard Haycroft. This is from the 50s, I think. And so the Maltese Falcon is in here. I have not yet read it, but since it is considered the second top mystery novel of all time, I will give it a go, even though it is hard-boiled. And the number one, the top mystery novel of all time is, drum roll please, The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle, 1887 to 1927. They didn't even bother to choose one. They just went with all of it. And I agree. Sherlock Holmes is fantastic. And these stories are excellent mystery books. I've just chosen one to show you here. This is A Study in Scarlet. And I have read Sherlock Holmes, definitely. Let's see what they have to say here. Rightly elected to the #1 slot as the most distinguished mystery fiction ever written, the Sherlock Holmes canon stands alone as the most consistently brilliant, original, important, and entertaining works of fiction ever produced. Do you agree with that statement? Do you agree that the Sherlock Holmes stories are the top mysteries of all time? Is there a book that you think should have appeared on this list? More specifically, in the top 10. I would love to find out your thoughts about that in the comment section down below. Now, it's time for the final reckoning of the 100 top mystery novels of all time. I have read 25. I've read like a quarter. I've read a quarter of them. Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know what to think about that. I own 20 of them that I want to read. I want to read 25 that I do not own. So, of the 100 books on this list, 71 are books that I have already read or am interested in reading. And I don't think that's bad. So that means 30 of them, I've done something wrong. Oh, there was a tie, that's why. There was a tie for 100. 30 of those books I am not interested in reading. And I think that that's okay, because as a reader, I know where my interest lies. And I am not a fan of hard-boiled fiction. I'm not a huge fan of spy, espionage, thriller. And so, there is limited time to read, and so I am a strong proponent of reading what you like. And so this was a really fun little experiment to do, to see how many of these top 100 mystery novels that I've read. And that's not bad. What do you think? And I'll see you for another video soon. Bye.